first real skate experience outside my neighborhood was Del Mar Skate Ranch, and I think that was in 1981 or 82. So, you know, my direct influences were obviously the guys from my local skate park. So I would have to say, you know, Reese Simpson, Alan Losey, Adrian Denane, Tony Hawk, Gator. Then, you know, Jason Jessica started showing up there around 87, 88. You know, I grew up in North County, San Diego. I lived in Del Mar. I mean, I lived in Encinitas and Cardiff and in Vista, and I even lived in Fallbrook at one point. But, you know, when my skateboarding career started, you know, take off, and most of my childhood I lived in Vista. So I would hang out with Hensley and Steve Ortega and Mario Rubalcaba and Brendan Schaffel and all of my Vista skate crew. So we'd go to Del Mar as a group usually. You know, when I was real young, I'd go there with my brother, but once we started to get better and Del Mar became a regiment, then it would kind of be one of those after-school things, and Hensley would drive or whatever. So I was more influenced by my crew of friends than anybody, I think, at a certain point. You know, obviously I skated vert a lot, and so did my friends, Matt. Everybody skated vert back then, but there was a pinnacle where vert, you know, the Del Mar closed, and there was only a couple vert ramps, and vert was obviously still big then, but it started to deteriorate, I think, because of that reason, and then street started to take hold, and even my friends that were somewhat vert skaters at the time just eventually started skating street too. And then a lot of our, you know, hanging out was around the streets of Vista. Like, we didn't really have a place to hang out too often, so we would end up just meeting up at spots and then hanging out and, you know, getting into trouble doing whatever we were doing. But skating was like our, you know, that was the vehicle back then. You know, 8th Street transpired mostly with me. You know, my attraction to 8th Street, you know, obviously I loved Mike Ternansky. I wasn't really good friends with him at that time when 8th Street started. I knew him. You know, he helped me out of a couple scenarios that were pretty crucial, and he had my back, and I really respected him for that. I got left at a contest in Las Vegas when I was like 13, and he flew me home and whatever. That was one of the reasons why I quit Vision. But anyways, I was, you know, friends with Mike, but mainly it was, I rode for Powell, and, you know, I didn't have a community of friends that I was, you know, a part of, that I went, you know, on trips with, or, you know, I didn't have my buddy that I could, you know, go to a contest with that was on Powell or whatever. Like, you know, all my friends were, you know, all my local friends were starting to ride for 8th Street as 8th Street was starting to transpire, because Mike
Ortega rode for 8th Street too, right?
Yeah, Mike met Hensley at the Santa Clara skate camp, you know, in 1987, I think, and Matt, you know, became, you know, stayed there, and I think he helped out doing some counseling or whatever he did to be able to hang there all summer. So that's how Mike and Matt got close, and then that's right around the time Mike and T-Mag were starting 8th Street. Hensley and I both skated for Vision. So Hensley and I did go do demos together and stuff. We would go do things all the time together. So he quit Vision to go do 8th Street, and then I was like, oh, what, you know, what's that all about? You gonna leave me hanging over here? You know, we were able to go out and make videos on, you know, cameras that were held together with stickers and, you know, like, that were barely, you know, functioning. The videos were so cheesy, and the music was so bad, and the sound quality was the worst. But it wasn't about that at that time. Like, people were over the glitter. It was about skateboarding, and that was an era where people were sick of seeing all this bullshit, and that people wanted to see progression in skateboarding. And I think that, you know, regardless if it was shot on a handy cam or if the music was, you know, good quality or bad quality, it wasn't about that. It was just the pure fact that there was some new progressive skateboarding in this video that nobody had seen yet. I point it out often because I have this conversation, and I feel lucky and blessed that I was a part of skateboarding in that era. Obviously, you know, from a business standpoint, it was the worst time in skateboard, one of the worst lulls in skateboard history, but, you know, it was some of the most, you know, for me, some of my best memories and some of my most, you know, genuine skate, you know, moments were in that time period. So, but it was a time period where the building blocks of street skating and vert skating, the fundamentals, you know, were kind of up in the air at that time.